Hi guys, Steve Crawford from Your Spending Coach here, and today I'm doing a quick video because lately what I've seen from a lot of coaches is a big focus, probably too much focus on the reporting side. So I'm talking about the technology solution, irrespective of which one it is that you choose. The technology solution is an important piece because it actually reports the feedback that the client has on how they're tracking towards their targets. The targets is the key part of this because at the end of the day, the target is determined by a budget that they're setting for themselves up front. If there's not enough focus put on the budget, or there's no focus at all being put on the budget, what we see in our business is the clients inevitably don't get the results they're looking for. And this was highlighted probably about a week ago with a client of ours who is 4 months down in the program, and they're probably about 15 to 20 grand underwater. So they've actually lost money in the last 4 months. Now, this is very, very rare that we see this. And we went through all of our checks and measures to see what we'd actually done and to try and find out what we'd actually missed. The banking structure was in place. The reporting was coming through. Even the budgeting that we put in place with them, we thought was fair and reasonable for the targets that they'd set themselves. And the thing that came through, first and foremost, was they hadn't accepted that budgets were a good thing for them. And so all of their spending was a demonstration of this. They were just pretending that it didn't actually matter. So we're now 4 months down, they're resetting and starting again from scratch. And in their words, getting back on track. So today what I want to do with you is just focus on how do you get your clients to actually buy into the budget right from the outset. So let's have a look at how we do that. The first thing that they've really got to buy into is this concept that the budget itself isn't an issue. And we see this all the time, especially at the start, where the idea of if I give myself a budget, that's the end of my life. Where the reality is they're in charge of setting their numbers. All budgets do is help them set targets for how they're going to define success or failure around the way they manage their money, in particular around their living expenses, their lifestyle spending, and their savings figures. So here, early days, what you've got to get them to understand is that they're in charge of the numbers. All you're going to do is help them categorize it. And if they don't actually have a budget, they're never going to know whether or not they're actually successful. So flip it around from being a negative thing to being a positive thing. Once you set a budget, you'll be able to see how well you're progressing towards your income, your expenses, and your spending targets, and ultimately your savings. Plus, if you use our benchmarks, you'll be able to see how your budget compares to other people in your peer group, so you can get a sense of how you're tracking compared to everybody else. Once they've bought into the budget, what you're trying to get them to understand is this is a journey. Now, what I'm covering off here is some of the stuff that we go through, on day one of the 2-day workshop. We spent a lot of time understanding, one, the psychology of the journey that the clients are going to go on, but two, what's the actual process that you go through to get them to move from stage 1 through to stage 4. So here, stage 1, budgets are good, not evil. And that's that acceptance point. Typically what you see is that if your process has been set up in terms of your onboarding, so the way that the clients get through into those meetings, if you've made them jump some hurdles by completing a budget planner before they send it to you, before you have the meeting, then they're starting already to accept stuff. Sometimes, very, very rarely, you might find that at month 2 or month 3, they haven't bought in. And then you have to have a tough conversation with them around, guys, we can only help you if you agree to help yourselves. So what we want here is them accepting that budgets are good, not evil. From there, you're then into a trial budget period. So the first 3 months is about awareness. What does it cost to be you? So you're just trying to set a trial budget. Don't make it too aggressive. Don't allow them to set themselves savings targets that are just unrealistic. Our tip is that you'd set a target somewhere in between the national average for an Aussie or at the upper end, what our average client saves, depending on whether they're a family, a couple, or a single. That data is available in the benchmarks. And again, if you come to the workshop, I'll show you how to use it properly. By month 3, they should start to be in that improvement phase. So what we're expecting here is the gap in between their budget and their actual results is getting closer and closer, and the budgeted savings figure is starting to trend up month to month to month. So by the time they get to about month 9 to 12, they should be able to have consistent performance around their results, both from an expenses point of view, from a spending point of view, and from a savings point of view. So guys, there's my really quick take on budgeting. It's one of the 3 components, the other 2 being banking and reporting. Again, don't rely on the technology solution to do your job for you. It will help you enormously, and it'll take all the pressure off any sort of manual labor and the reporting side of things. But if the clients don't buy into having a budget, they're going to get what they get, and then they can't get upset at the end of the month or at the end of the quarter when they haven't got the results that they want. And that means as a coach, they're probably not going to be happy with you either. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you've got any questions, email steve@yourspendingcoach. Visit the website www.yourspendingcoach.com.au. We've got a workshop in Melbourne on the 28th and 29th of March. The workshop's the best way for you to build your own personal money management program for your clients. We do it in 2 days. By the time you left, it's completely ready to go and ready for you to launch your pilot group. Got any questions? Give me a call or visit the website. Otherwise, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.